One subject that I can't get enough of is premium credit cards and the rewards that you rack up if you use them only and certain times at grocery stores versus restaurants versus to pay for your plane ticket. Well, there's been a settlement between Visa, Mastercard, and merchants that may change the way that we use our premium credit cards. And Justin Teresi is here with us. He is a BI litigation analyst here at Bloomberg Intelligence. Justin, what happened and what does this mean for my Chase Sapphire card or my Amex Platinum card?
Yeah, really big news here. So first of all, this case has been going on for about 20 years now. Longer. It started before I went to law school, which was a long time ago. There's salt and pepper in my hair, so we're talking about a really, really ancient case. But basically, what a lot of folks don't know is when you have those really valuable premium cards, right, like the airline miles cards or the cashback cards, there's a fee associated with those, and it's the merchants who are eating that fee, typically around 3 or 4%, depending on the varying swipe fee when you use it at a register. So merchants, no surprise, they're upset about that, right? So Visa, big litigation here, the accusation being that they fixed those fees and that, the merchants are basically the ones eating the cost there. So big deal announced yesterday between Visa, Mastercard, and merchants would make a little bit more flexibility on the part of merchants here. They could basically say, hey, we're going to take the lower tier version of a Visa or a Mastercard, but we're maybe not going to accept airline miles cards or cashback cards. And then alternatively, they also might have the option of passing those fees onto you, the consumer, at the register if they do take them. So some big changes here and how things are shaping up.
Well, I've noticed in the last couple of 3 years, they are doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, almost every merchant I go to now, I don't know if it's just a state of New Jersey thing, but they're saying, hey, here's the cash price, here's the credit card price.
Yeah, Paul, this is actually a really interesting issue here because state by state, there's a lot of differences in how this actually plays out. In New York, and I see this too, when I go to my dry cleaner, it's like, oh, maybe that's 4% more if I'm going to use my credit card here. That's actually illegal in New York right now to do that, but the enforcement seems to be lacking. This is a new law passed in 2024. There has to be an upfront kind of price on a tag if they're going to pass a surcharge onto a consumer in New York. Massachusetts, Connecticut, you can't surcharge at all. So if this settlement goes through, that's a big question mark too.
Interesting that you say that surcharge is illegal in New York, because what I've seen is the dry cleaner will say, we'll give you a discount if you pay in cash. Here's the regular price, but you get the discount if you pay in cash. So it's no longer a surcharge. Justin, you said that this has been a case that's been around for 20 some odd years.
Yes.
This settlement that was announced yesterday, I mean, is it just going to get caught up in more legal quagmire?
It really could. So last year there was a first attempt at this. This is the second try now, right? And the big issue that blew up the deal last year is that the smaller merchants kind of pushed for the terms that they set in the first place. And big folks like Walmart, et cetera, kind of got iced out from the discussions on that. It seems like that might have happened again here. The National Retail Federation was out yesterday saying, wait a minute, what kind of business practice would this be for us to say, hey, we're going to take these cards and not those cards? And they're also criticizing the fee concessions that were part of this deal too for the next 5 years or so. So I think there's still a lot of questions here. There's probably enough changes from last year's deal to get it over the finish line, but there's a big period here with objectors who are going to be weighing in on what they think of the deal. And honestly, the judge last year, she said, look, you guys can do a lot more than you're offering to do in this deal. So is this enough? That's going to be a huge question moving into an approval hearing.
What are the dollar amounts we're talking about here in this?
So it's quadrupled according to the National Retail Federation since 2009. But Visa and Mastercard, they've got 80% of this market for the card fees, right? $111 billion last year alone collected in these swipe fees, according to the NRF. So really massive. But these companies are also diversifying their streams, right? They're looking into digital wallets and other payment platforms too. So there's a lot more on the table now than there was when this was first brought back in 2005.
And to be clear, this is Visa and Mastercard and merchants. What about American Express? Where does it sit here?
Yeah, so that's another great question. American Express basically settled a version of this lawsuit, or won a version of this lawsuit years ago. Their card acceptance terms are a little bit different. Surcharging isn't really allowed with those when it's not applied to all card types, right? But that begs the question, if you start allowing surcharging through cardholder or through acceptance agreements for Visa and MasterCard, does Amex now have to allow surcharging on its card? So that's another big question mark if this deal goes through. It really has the potential to impact everything, not just Visa and MasterCard.
Paul, I remember when Amex used to be accepted everywhere. And then after a while, it was like, oh, we'll take Visa, MasterCard, but not American Express.
Yes.
Because it was always, for the merchants, too expensive.
Too expensive. Okay. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I used my Amex card. Literally, I can't
It's there in your pocket, though.
It's in my pocket.
Okay, see, that's the thing. I mean, what does this mean for companies that have corporate cards, Justin?
Yeah, so that's one of the different brackets here, too. So the way the settlement works is that it's going to divide cards into 3 different types. So it'll be commercial cards, standard customer cards, and then premium customer cards. I think the commercial and standard cards, you want that corporate business. I think those 2 really are of the less concern. It's those premium cards, I think, with the rewards that really are on the line here in terms of whether or not they continue to have that universal acceptance everywhere.
So
there's so many businesses built around how to gamify your points.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
And how so you do that, Chris?
I absolutely love it. I mean, every day it's like, oh, these Amex offers, what can I get here for this discount?
Do you keep a spreadsheet tracking your spending?
I don't, but I really should, honestly. I mean, it's that good, I think. So
Paul's like, I cannot get into this.
No, but the kids are. Because, I mean, I've noticed that they really are good at gaming the system.
Yeah.
And to the point where, I'm going to Barcelona for the weekend on points,
Right,
kind of
exactly. And these premium credit cards are almost like coupon books in many ways, right? Because they offer, like $50 a quarter actually it's $75 a quarter at Lululemon, for instance, under the Amex Platinum card. And then people try to buy a gift card and stack them and use them like a year later. Paul's laughing at me.
Absolutely true. And they carry those really high annual fees. But then again, I always think to myself, look how much I'm getting back for this. It outweighs the fee sometimes, at least in my mind. So there you go.
All right.
What are Visa and Mastercard saying about this?
So they signed on to this deal. They reached this agreement. I think they're pretty happy with the terms of it because that kind of lets them walk away. The issuing banks like J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, all of them are also defendants. They get to walk away from this litigation. The overhang would be removed, right? So it's really the merchants. Are all of the merchants going to sign on? And what do those objections look like in the next coming months to the court? So,
all right, Justin, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Justin Teresi, antitrust litigation and policy analyst, Bloomberg Intelligence, joining us live here in our Bloomberg Interactive Brokers studio.